What else has happened since we met? 2002. Gay marriages. That's kicked in. Thoughts?
They've happened. Are they popular though? I mean...
Well, amongst gay people who want to get married, they're very popular, I imagine.
What's the point of it?
You know, I suppose they want to feel that there's an equality.
But is it just one of them things where they wanted it because they can't have it? Do you know what I mean?
I think any excuse for a fancy dress. They like to dress up. They love a press tent.
See, I just don't understand that. Whose name do they use? Whose surname do they go with?
I don't know.
There's a problem. Just creating problems. I always say that. Any problem solved is a new problem made.
Gobbledygook.
Any problem solved is a new problem made.
Yeah. Like I said that time when I was in hospital, and, I remember in the 80s everyone was going, oh, there's not enough hospital beds and all that. When I was in hospital with, kidney stones.
Yeah.
Loads of beds, not enough pillars. So that's the way it works. It's sorted out the bed problem. They give me a bed at night. I was going, I haven't got a pillar. They had to go off and get one. They brought it back, it was still warm.
Oh. That has been brilliant.
Under a dead head. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, you get all the beds, new problem, where's the pillars? Don't solve problems.
Don't solve problems. Brilliant.
What do you make of the this big problem in the church not wanting gay people to be priests? Does that concern you?
No. It's a problem if you're gay, and it's a problem if you go to church and you don't like gays, but I don't go to church and I'm not gay. There's certain problems that just go over your head.
If you were gay, Carl, what would you do?
Well, I do what all gays do, I suppose.
What's that?
Whatever it is they do. I'm just saying...
Well, you don't just say... What if you didn't?
I'm not gay, so I don't know.
So, getting gay marriage, would you ever go through with that?
What if I was gay?
Well...
It's hard to answer, isn't it? How can I answer it if I'm not gay? I don't know what I'd do.
Well, no,
I might not look like this. I'd look totally different if I was gay.
Why?
Even though it's me mum's and my dad's jizz or whatever, I'd look different, because gays do. You make more of an effort. Look at me. I won't survive as a gay man. Maybe that's why I'm not one.
Right, Carl, I'm going to give you a scenario though, okay? I'm going to test. Would you rather... So you're not gay, okay, this is the real you, right? Someone put a gun to your head and goes, right, okay, Carl, you've either got to marry a little gay fella, there's a little fella here, he loves you, he's liked you for a long time. He goes, hello, Carl. You go, alright, mate. He's a lovely bloke. I think he lives in Brighton. I think he's in advertising.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a sports car. He's smart. He looks lovely. Pink shirt, white suit. He's great. He's very popular. Got tints. It always looks good. Right? Lovely tan. He's about 38.
What's his name?
His name is Graham.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's expecting that?
Yeah, and he goes, hello, Carl. And you go, alright, Graham. And someone suddenly bursts in and goes, right, you've either got to marry Graham. He puts a gun to your head. He goes, right, you've either got to marry Graham, okay? You've got to tell all your family.
Well, no, I'm not going to marry him, am I?
What? Whoa, you know the choices.
Well, I know one of the choices, and I'm not happy with that choice, so you go with whatever else.
Well, no.
So what's the other option, Rick?
Okay, so you marry Graham, and
I won't be marrying Graham.
You do all the things in the bedroom.
Why is that happening?
Well, you're married now.
You're married now, and he wants to consummate the marriage. He loves
Even
you.
under marriage, you can't do that, can you? You can say, hang on a minute.
Well, no.
I don't know why you've married Graham.
No, but you want him to be happy. You want him to be happy. He's giving you a lovely house.
Yeah, but I'd say, Graham, hang on a minute. You know the score. I'm not into this.
No,
I went along with it because you didn't want a bullet in your head.
No.
Now, if you love me, will you stop doing that?
Stop doing what?
What are you doing in the bedroom?
Well, no, just, you have a lovely life. You do your own thing. You do this, right? Podcasts, do your little books and that. Little, and Graham goes off, he does his, and he comes back, he goes, oh, I've had a day. You go, what's the matter, Graham? And you just sort of massage him, he's just like, you go, oh.
I'll go with the other option.
Well, wait, Carl! So you're going, oh, God, he used to have made you some pork chop. He goes, oh, you're a darling, right?
It wouldn't work, though, because you're putting two people together who don't want to be together.
Well, Graham wants to be with you.
Yeah, Graham loves you.
Relationship's two-way, innit? And this is a made-up man, and I know I don't like him.
That's just homophobic.
No, it's not. He's annoying me.
Why? He's a lovely
Why is he annoying you?
Just the way he looks after his body. I'm not saying he's tanning it, he's having a massage, and I wouldn't be doing all that, so it wouldn't last. The relationship wouldn't work.
It's talking yin and yang. Well.
No, it doesn't work.
Opposites attract, okay?
Not to that point, it doesn't.
He's good to you. He's really, he's oh God, he's faithful.
He's got a good job.
He's got a really good job. You get invited to really nice parties.
It's just him. I don't like him.
Well, no, that's a shame. He absolutely loves you.
That happens, doesn't it? It happens that I remember being at school with a girl who really liked me, and I was like, "It's not going to happen, Sharon."
No,
it didn't happen.
The first,
and that's Sharon, not Graham. So the chances of me letting this Graham move in.
Well, you moved in with him, right? He's got a lovely, bigger, got a 6-bedroom house.
Of course he is.
And you move in with him, right? For the first day you go, I'm not happy with this, because you're thinking, oh my God, oh God, first day in marriage, what's it going to go? He goes off, he gives you a peck on the head.
What's the option?
Well,
what's the other choice?
Well, you don't know! Yeah, okay. So he comes home, he goes, he's bought you a lovely little ankle bracelet.
Oh, that's sweet of him.
With Karl. Karl, love.
Graham, I need a word.
I go, what is it? What's up, love? What's the matter? I'll be Graham. Right, okay. I'll be Graham. What's the matter? You look tense.
This is all, we're living a lie here.
Well, yeah, but it's just the alternative is so much worse.
What's the alternative?
Well,
what is the alternative, Rick? I think we're all waiting for that.
Well, marry a chimp.
Marry a chimp?
Yeah. Unless you either live with a chimp in a tree or marry Graham, your family are going to get killed. Someone's going to shoot him, right? So you have to decide what you want to do. Do you want to go and live in a tree with a chimp and eat nothing but bananas and just live the chimp world? Okay.
Yeah.
Or woo Graham. You go down there, you're chatting to him, you're just in a club, right? You're there.
But who's watching that I'm staying with Graham all the time?
The person is right, yeah.
Well, where's he watching from?
The evil person's going, right, he goes to that club Saturday nights. Don't bother going before midnight. He won't be there. Right, so you get there, you walk in there, it's 1 a.m, and he goes, that's him over there, in the pink shirt dancing. Okay?
Right, he wouldn't like me.
He would. You go.
This is it. You've got to win him over.
Look at you. Look at your lovely shaved head, hairy arms. Oh my God. I mean, you are more suited to the chimp, but there you'll go down a storm, right? You go down there. You've got a little vest on, leather trousers.
What would you say to Graham? You've got to go over.
You've got bought another pair of trousers and you've cut out the back. Okay. There you go in. Your arse is showing. You've got a freshly shaved head. You've got a little white vest. Okay.
Has he got all this on?
No, he's got like a little pink Ben Sherman, white trousers and espadrilles.
Right, I'd dance over.
Yeah?
I'd say, you Graham, and go, yeah.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
So never mind, you haven't seen a chimp about, have you?
First of the game to die, Morrissey, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Well, Karl, you failed miserably. The scientist stuck away. Right, one more chance. What's happened in the last couple of weeks? Just one more chance to... What have you seen in the last couple of weeks?
Well, like I say, I don't really watch the news and that, so
right.
I can't tell them about that. But in a way, I think they're better off not knowing. I think that's the only good thing about being out there, isn't it? Not knowing about the bad stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I can't help them there.
They don't need to look at the weather, do they?
No, don't you know? No. But tell you about the Pope and that.
Yeah, you've pretty extensive.
What about the EU Constitution and the no votes? What do you make of that? What are your views?
What's the problem there?
Oh, this isn't broadcasting, though, is it? This is nothing. Come up with something.
Well, the fat baby, then. The fat baby that they found. That was on the telly.
Right. Well, what was that?
It's just a little fat baby. That, I don't know what. It's just a little fat kid and that.
What? Tell what?
It was on the telly. It was on the telly.
But what was on the telly? You just said fat baby, fat baby, fat baby, fat baby on telly, fat baby on telly. You're meant to be telling them what's happened in the world. Tell me about the fat baby on telly.
It's just they've found some. There's this illness called Momo, right? And they've just got this woman had a kid. It's really sad. It was on Channel 4 and that, right? And kid's born.
You sure it wasn't Jimmy Carr?
Kid's born and that, right?
Momo?
It's called Momo.
Isn't that Black Music Award?
No, right, little fat baby and that, and there's only 3 of them in the world. These little fat babies,
right?
And one of them,
they're in danger.
How fat? Are you not telling what do you mean? How fat are they?
6 stone. It was only 2. And there's 3 of them in the world, and there was this one, and there was one in Brazil.
Are they like endangered? Is that the problem? Because there's only 3 of them in the world. Are we worried? This is like a conservation campaign.
Hunted for their flesh.
No, it's sad. I know, it's easy to joke on that, but if you've seen it, you'd go, oh, it's a bit sad on that.
Well, I haven't seen it, and I know nothing about it.
Well, I've told you, there's 3 of them in the world.
Okay, what else was on telly?
Something I watched the other night, that was just good. Again, you know, I learn stuff from the telly. I don't watch the news.
You don't learn stuff from the telly.
I'll tell you what, though.
You told us there's a fat baby in the world.
Forget about them.
There's a spider eats chickens, and there was a fat kid.
Forget them in Iceland, right?
Yeah.
We'll give them Rockbusters later to do, right?
Iceland!
But what's her name? I'll tell you what is interesting, Steve. I didn't know that much about it. Autism.
Okay. Oh, good. It was some more entertaining stuff on XFM 104.9. Just to cheer up people. Go on, then. What? Come on.
No, right. Have you heard about it, Steve? What
autism?
It scares me to death when he comes up, when he touches on a serious subject. We've been talking about wheeling a dead pope round, the Chinese don't age well, and ginger people are hated. And now we're going to touch on a really, my heart's in my throat. Go on, Carl, then. Tell me your insights to autism.
Right, well, there's this, again, Channel 4, coming up with some good stuff at the moment, right? It might have been Channel 5. But what's the name?
It's the attention span that I like!
It's these people who, they've got like this autism thing going on.
Yeah.
And, they sort of take in a lot of information, they get sort of they get so into it that they know everything about that subject and what have you, right? And there was this lad who, he knew everything, right, about EastEnders.
Right.
He sort of, the cameraman was saying to him, so, you know, why EastEnders and that? And he said, I don't know, I just like it. And he said, I remember when I first watched it was a Thursday, it was 5 to 8, Pauline Fowler walked in, she had a pink jumper on, she said, alright, love. And he remembers everything from that moment on.
Yeah.
Right, and everything. Which is great, but then, the way the programme was making out, it was almost like they were saying it's a disability.
Right.
When in a way, it's more like a superpower.
Sure. Like Rain Man.
Well, if you can take
Rain Man.
No, I'm
he
not.
has special autistic powers.
Oh God!
We must send for Rain Man.
I don't know what to do.
So
I don't know what to do.
So he would be a great
there's other
mastermind.
things.
Sort of autistic mastermind. He'd
Well,
be
what I'm
dynamite.
saying is, don't be watching EastEnders though. Sort of, why didn't they give him an encyclopedia and say, get into that?
Sure.
That'll be useful.
Yeah.
Keep him away from EastEnders. Wasting his time there. But I don't think it is a disability.
No.
Yeah, there are other things, and they're not. It's also autism is a matter of degrees. From what I know, and I'm sorry to have to do this, but I feel that I have to at least be the voice of reason, as ill-educated as I am on the subject. But I think there's degrees of autism. I think some are higher performance than others. There's other issues with it. It's not they're just got good memories. They don't go around doing tricks for people because they can remember stuff. There are other issues with it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they seemed a bit...
You watched the programme, what did you learn? That he knows when Pauline Fowler came in?
Yeah, I mean, there was other bits where they couldn't control their emotions and stuff.
Oh, that other little bit, yeah.
But the main bit of it was he can soak up information and stuff, and I'm just saying, it didn't seem really bad. Do you know what I mean? There's disabilities where people say that's a bad disability. It's like how people say about...
This is brilliant. This is just like this is amazing to be in a room with this man. It's incredible. You just wind him up and listen to what comes out. And I'm going to sit back now. I'm not going to defend you or explain anything. Just go on and tell me about the other disabilities that are worse.
No, what I mean is how people can sometimes easily get mixed up. How people are scared of like a cyclop. When at the end of the day, he's got a disability. A bloke
Who's scared of a cyclop?
No, it's
apart from Jason and his Argonauts. Where's this cyclop that you're scared of?
No, I'm just saying in history and in books and that.
No, not in history. History happened.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of? You're mixing history with Greek mythology and Roman mythology and every other type of mythology. What do you mean there wasn't really a giant cyclop that went round picking up ships and throwing them around? That's not history, Carl. Do you think Batman's history?
No, but it was ages ago, wasn't it, when we were sort of
No, I'm not saying it didn't happen ages ago. I'm saying it didn't happen.
Well, it might have done. There's no... I mean, what's so ridiculous about a fellow with one eye?
In the middle of his head, and he's big and scary and lives in a
Why is he
cave.
scary? Because what if he had 8 eyes? I'd be scared of him. At the end of the day, he's got a disability. Oh, we'll talk about it in a bit.
Feeder, come back around. XFM, 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. I asked Karl in the week, right, what animal would he never trust? Even if he got to know it and it was a pet and everything, what animal would he never trust? What was it?
Was this, a wasp?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you trust a wasp, Carl?
I just think that,
They're shifty?
all other animals, if you get them at an early age, you can sort of make them like you.
You can train them, don't you?
A wasp.
Nothing.
Never.
Is there anything do you think there's anything you could do that would kind of, win the favour and win the trust of a wasp? What would you have to do you think?
What if you had it from a little grub?
Yeah.
And you fed it, he had its favourite marmalade?
It doesn't affect it though, does it? A bee dies, doesn't it, if it does it, so it's not gonna, like, use it willy-nilly.
That's easy for you to say.
But a wasp.
Do you think they sting arbitrarily? They just sting for the fun of it? They're like sort of like delinquent insects?
I think so, because last night, right, I mean, this is part of educating Ricky in a way, but something I learned last night was that tarantulas only bite you if you annoy it.
Right.
They don't, do you know how people say, oh, if you're in a sleeping bag living in a jungle, a spider will get in there and it'll bite you?
Yeah.
Apparently not, you've got to really annoy it. The thing that it really hates is having its leg sort of twisted.
It hates having his leg twisted. Right.
Yeah, but that's more for...
Is that what they said in a documentary?
No,
actually said this is
almost certainly not, Steve. Almost certainly
Were you watching
not.
a documentary?
No, I was reading it.
Oh, you were reading it.
And, it was this guy...
Was it scrawled on the wall in like a public toilet?
No, I'll tell you.
No.
I'll tell you more about that later.
Oh,
It's
right,
part of the, thing.
Educating.
So if you don't trust the evil wasp, what animal do you trust? What's your favourite?
Well, I also, I said to him, right, supposing your mind, right, was put into any animal, right, and you've got to get from where you are now, right, to Glasgow, right, as an animal, right, but the authorities will be looking out for it.
Okay.
And it's shooting you, right? And, you went through loads, didn't you?
I was thinking about it it must have took me about an hour.
So your mind has been put into an animal.
Anyway, yeah, so it's you in this animal thinking you've got to get to somewhere.
But the authorities know you're in the animal?
Yeah, maybe your body is in Glasgow or something, and you've got to get this animal to get to you so it can transfer its mind back into your body.
But the government knows that I'm...
Oh, we've all had that conversation.
So the government's going, Carl can't have his own brain back.
I only have it with Carl, don't I, these conversations? Go on, yeah.
So you're on the way.
So think about it, you think about it just for a second, so let's recap. Your body's in Scotland.
Right.
He's the only one that takes my question seriously.
Your brain is in London,
right?
And there's like loads of security and stuff looking out in the sky for animals, or looking on the field, seeing looking a bit suspicious. Trying to get to your body,
and they're shooting
the brain, and they're shooting everything and killing all the animals. What thing would you pick to get your brain to Scotland that wouldn't get caught? And I reckon I've got the answer.
A wasp?
No, because think about it, a lot of people get irritated if it sort of wanted to get a lift in a car going down the motorway. If someone's driving a wasp in the car, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, sure.
Cause a right accident.
Yeah.
So think of something that people wouldn't,
And the clock's ticking as well.
You're taking this really very seriously,
yeah,
Carl.
you've only got a couple
you've given this a lot of thought, haven't you? You have.
Yeah.
So, something with speed.
Yeah,
something that can travel quite speedily.
Well, that's... Yeah.
Well,
and something that's also inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the sort of thing you're that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
And is it a creature that's native to this country?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
I've got no idea, Carl. What are you thinking?
Tell him.
A flea.
A flea?
Tell him why.
Think about it. Right, this flea, it's got my brain. It's dead small, the flea.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah.
And so he goes, right, I've got to get to Scotland. So it jumps on someone who's going to Euston Station.
Right.
They don't know it's there.
No.
The government can't see it.
Can't see it, Steve! Think of that statement! Think of you just tuned in.
Yeah.
Now,
People get on the train, goes to Glasgow or Edinburgh, wherever in Scotland it is. It jumps off, it goes right, jumps on someone else who's going the way it needs to go, gets there, still no one's seen it, jumps on me, I get my brain back.
Yeah.
The government are like, phew.
And you feel confident that your brain would fit in that of a flea's?
Well, you said there was no problem with the size of it. You said you could.
there certainly wouldn't be.
So,
No.
I pretty much you could download everything you know into a flea.
So that's genius.
Yeah.
That's,
what would you rather have, right? Roller skate feet, and there's little wheels, right? Chopstick hands. Yeah? Instead of hands, chopsticks instead of hands, wheels instead of feet,
yeah.
right? Or acne.
How big are the wheels?
Can I take you guys back to the old school? Do you mind if we take it back to the old school?
Well, yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to lay on me?
No, I just maybe a bit of a De La Soul.
Yeah,
Is that a problem? Is it a problem
yeah.
going back to the old school?
No,
We don't need to go. If you don't
as
want
long as it's vinyl shit.
it is indeed. Slam it on.
I never went. There we go.
Awful.
I remember he was on something on one chat show, and I think it was Des or Michael Asper or something. And I said, "So you had something?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, everyone knows that Elvis sold more records after his death than when he was alive." Little dig there against Elvis. He goes,
Yeah.
"Well, I've just overtaken his record for sales in the UK." Right. So he sets up that Elvis is only selling because he's dead.
Yeah.
And anyway, I've still beaten him in the UK. And I just think, yeah. And where'd you get the quiff from and the way to sing? Where'd you get that from, Cliff? Where did you think of that?
But it's those people who he's just desperate for the credibility that he's never going to have.
I like it when he went round last year going, they're not playing my record, they're not playing my record, they're not playing, oh, go on, play it, number one.
Yeah.
Ha, fooled you.
It was number one, the Millennium Prayer.
I know, yeah. Well, it was, it was the Millennium, wasn't it?
It was, but I don't know who's buying it. I mean, I know, but you seem to claim it's some kind of like 60-year-old women, but they're not.
Yeah,
are they really a commercial force now?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Carl seems to know that.
Well, like when you're born, you're a little baby, wrinkly and stuff. When you get older, you sort of morph into a baby again. And you go through the same phases. So when you're young, you buy singles. You get old, you got nothing to do all day. You got all your pension money. What will I buy? Cliff Richard's on the telly. Here's my video, buy me song.
You see, that started off as quite a sensible point, because I actually think they do it. But what was all that alien stuff about when you're born, you go wrinkly and you go wrinkly again? Sometimes you mix like normal things that human beings say with I don't know what.
Well, look, when you're a baby, you've got a little bald head, no teeth. You get old. What happens?
Are you a philosopher? Are you an official philosopher? Because, I mean, it sounds like it. Oh, Carl, play a record. You're a gem. You're a diamond. Have you ever read the White Van Man column in The Sun, Carl?
I've seen it,
Are you familiar with this? This is where every day in The Sun they interview a guy who drives a white van, just, in order to get the kind of voice of the man on the street in the paper. And he has to answer, or just give his opinions, really, on events that have made the news each week. Just thought we could maybe throw some of these at you, Carl.
Go on.
Because we know to see what your views are.
Yeah.
So, just the first thing that comes into your mind, the sort of your initial reaction to each
It's
of these.
just top all things, but you don't need to know about them, it's just your philosophy on it.
Yeah,
so,
just your views.
Yeah.
I have had a few days off this week, remember, so I don't know what's going on in the world.
Yeah, I mean, you stayed in London, though, didn't you?
Yeah,
You didn't bury yourself, did you?
I normally see the news, but I didn't this week.
Okay. So, what was your view on Will Young beating Gareth Gates in the final of Pop Idol?
Don't like him. You know what I was thinking about when I was watching it all the way through?
Yeah.
How he looks like he's got a wire coat hanger in his gob. That sort of...
Right.
Again, it's radio, Carl.
Radio.
It's a great
It's a
face.
funny face you're pulling, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Translate.
and, a radio.
And that's a problem for you, is it?
And just the way he's from a really rich family. I opened up the paper on the Monday or something, and it had like how he went to a posh school and he's got loads of money already.
Yeah.
It's just a bit...
Key. Well, what's the second
All right.
question?
There have been huge rises in street crime, especially muggings and carjackings. What's your view there?
More youth clubs are needed, aren't they?
You think more youth clubs?
I like that.
No? Okay.
I like that because it's so 1950s.
Yeah,
it's sort of like you want a Bobby on the beat that'll clip
Yeah.
you around the ear.
So once they've come
Is
out of
it-
national service...
Yeah! No, I love that. And if you find someone smoking a wood bomb, you make them smoke 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is great. That is great.
Did you used to go to youth clubs?
Yeah.
And they kept you out of trouble?
You used to get into a fight afterwards when
Sure.
you came out.
But for the sort of hour and a half you were there...
You had a bit of pool and some boxing and a bit of pop.
Yeah.
So more youth clubs, that's good.
I love him. I love him. If you're at home, just make notes, because this is brilliant stuff. Honestly, you won't hear more honest, from the heart stuff
opinions.
than this. This is great. Go on.
This is not pre-planned. These are your direct responses now.
I promise you, Carl did not know what we were going to do. He never knows what we're going to do, and he always answers honestly. That is the beauty of Carl. It's not an act.
What is your view, Carl, on New York's former mayor becoming Sir Rudy Giuliani? Sir Rudy Giuliani.
Is he happy with it?
He appears to be pleased with it.
Let it go ahead.
Fair enough.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh, he's genius.
Okay.
Is he happy with it? He's like your nan.
Yeah. What do you make of Michael Greco's character Beppe being axed from EastEnders? Problem for you?
The whole soap thing. What's it's back in Coronation Street, isn't she? What's her name?
Who? Bet.
Lynn's. She thought she'd go off and be a bigger star.
Yeah.
All went wrong, and now she's coming back.
Yeah. Always happens, doesn't it?
Beppe will be back.
Yeah.
No one really cares.
Sure.
What was the van reply? What was the guy?
The White Van Man says, obviously they feel the character has run his course, but I think he's a pretty good actor and I can't understand why. See, I mean, obviously there's a White Van Man there who's also got an opinion on script development.
The through line,
like the narrative through line of soap opera.
The 12-week narrative, the arc really shows itself up.
There's two last ones I want your opinion on here. What do you make of a cat that's been cloned in a secret 2.5 million research project?
To find out what?
If they can clone cats, yeah.
Have they had to hurt it?
Sorry?
Have they had to sort of hurt it to do that?
Have they had to hurt it?
Yeah, or is it just scraping its tongue for some stuff?
I think the cat's fine. The point is that they're cloning another creature, which is potentially very dangerous. Have you seen that film where they bring Hitler back?
That cat. What if that cat turned out to be a world dictator?
Exactly. What do you reckon of cloning generally, Carl? You concerned about it?
Well, I think they're cloning for organs. You know, they grow them for the. You know.
Do you know what cloning means?
Yeah, it's when you like make something else. That's the same, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to do any harm.
Okay. And finally...
Put you on the World Council.
Yeah. Finally, what do you make of some city workers who were caught bonking in the glass lifts of the Lloyd's building?
What do I make of it?
Yeah. Is that a problem for you? Do you think that's unprofessional?
Was it the lunch break, or...?
I think it was lunch break.
It was their own...
All right.
It's their own time, I think, fair enough. It only takes 45 seconds to go from the bottom to the top. Is that a problem? They moved quickly. They acted, on instinct. You think fair enough, if that's their natural instincts and they're both consenting, you think fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Carl.
Thanks very much, Carl.
Carl, we'll have more of Carl's world-weary opinions next time on the show. Listen, I want to play a track that I love.
I can't wait for this track. It's by a great band. Just going to do it before Steve does this. Coming up, we're going to give away a great game. I'm sort of clearing out my flat with Tony, and then we've got a lot of junk there, and we're going to give away a great game coming up. You've seen it, Steve. You're excited.
I'm looking forward to that. It's a board game.
It's a board game that we're all going to sign. It's going to be signed by Gervais Smirch, KP the K-Man. So you could win that.
The classic album Copper Blue by Sugar. Listening to it again recently, reminded how good it was.
Yeah.
This is the track Hoover Dam. Play it.
It's time for the re-education of Karl Pilkington. This week Karl was studying the life and times of Winston Churchill. What do you make of it, Karl? What did Churchill do for you?
Last week I made a bit of an error with Hitler.
Yeah, you
tried to remember too much, and it was way too much for me.
Sure.
So what I've done this week, sort of flicked through, got a few of them basic facts.
Yeah.
And what I've learned, right? Bit weird the way all these people have something in common, that they're all a bit weird when they're younger.
Okay.
They've got some sort of illness.
Go on.
Well, Rasputin, he wasn't well as a kid.
Yeah.
Che Guevara.
Oh, this is Rasputin, the mad monk, wasn't well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Che Guevara.
Yeah. Asthma.
Really bad asthma.
Yeah.
Hitler. He was
only one
bit mental.
Yeah.
Only one. His mother.
He was a bit mental. That could be libelous.
Yeah.
And who've we done? And Churchill.
Yeah.
Very weak child.
Was he?
He only spoke to his dad 4 times in his whole lifetime.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't get on with his dad.
Right.
And I think one of the times when his dad spoke to him, he was having a go, saying he didn't do as well in the army as he wanted him to.
Right.
So that's pretty sad bit I picked up of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that spurred him on, anyway.
Yeah. I'm not going in all the ins and outs. Very important bloke.
Okay.
No, seriously. I mean, your dad bought the tapes, didn't he?
Yes.
And I can understand why. Because he did change a lot for us. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be sat here now talking like this.
Why?
We could have been German.
Yep.
He didn't let that happen.
No.
Everyone had a go at him, right? When I think it was Chamberlain who was in power, and he was like saying, "Don't be trusting that Hitler," you know, and everyone was like, "Look, stop causing trouble." Chamberlain sorted it out, you know, he sorted out a peace agreement, and he was like, "No, I don't trust him," and everyone's like, "Oh, you know, you're just causing trouble," you know, everyone else is happy. Then it turned out that Hitler did actually do the dirty, and try and come over.
I remember he did, didn't he? Do something. He started a war. Or
there was a conflict of some kind.
Started a problem, and everyone went, "Hang on a minute, that Churchill knew what he was talking about. Get him back in charge."
Sure.
And they got him in, and Hitler was scared of him because he knew that he wasn't going to be having any lies or anything. He couldn't try it on with Churchill.
Yeah, especially when he was a little bit pissed up and coked and with a big cigar. Churchill.
He wasn't he wasn't doing that.
I think a lot were during the war, in the war cabinet. I think they had to have things to keep him awake all night and stuff, and he certainly liked a brandy.
Rick, Winston Churchill was coked up, was he? I mean, sorry, this is something I wasn't aware of.
If there are any historians listening, if I'm wrong, I'm
was that
very
in the
sorry.
World at War?
No, I don't
Winston
think
Churchill
so.
was
Any historians or you know, experts on war, did Churchill and not some of the other people during I think the First and Second World War take a little bit of cocaine?
So when it said that Hitler,
Doctors certainly used to.
Hitler liked cakes, would they be like the funny sort of cakes?
No, he probably did like a little bit of Madeira cake.
Right.
Yeah, there was probably nothing like that. Sorry, carry on.
So anyway,
he beat the Bosch.
Yeah, did all that.
Oh, that's steady on. His personal life's nothing to do with it.
And the most amazing bit is, right, he wasn't fit, and he had a couple of
Well,
strokes.
he's a good-looking bloke in many ways.
No, he had a couple of strokes, but he had a stroke on, say...
We've had that. He beat the Bosch. He likes to have a couple of strokes.
Yeah.
Let's not get into innuendo, Carl. It's stupid.
Right, say he had like a stroke on a Tuesday. He was up and fighting again on a Wednesday.
Really?
He was a strong bloke.
Yeah.
And then he died at about the age of 86 or something.
He's a good lad, wasn't he?
He was really good.
Yeah.
So is he the one you favour most of all?
I'd
the ones
say out of all, I mean, Rasputin, I don't understand why he got, like I said, I don't know why they made a book on him.
No.
He just didn't deserve it.
No.
Che Guevara, you know, he had his time, I suppose, and did a bit good for certain people.
Sure.
Sorted Cuba out. Doesn't really affect me.
No.
Hitler, I mean, enough said.
Yeah.
Bad bloke. Churchill sorted it all out.
Yeah.
And like I
So
said,
your favourite out of the four of them, the of all those four, is Churchill.
yeah. I think he's
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
I agree. I agree with you, I think.
What I love with your kind of sort of summary of these people's incredible lives is the way that it's almost like, I remember in Lookin' magazine, I don't remember Lookin', it was the Junior TV Times. They used to have half a page which was a comic strip summarising someone's life. You might have, say, 5 Star, the story of 5 Star.
Yeah.
And he'd have a picture. I always remember the Roger Moore one was a picture of, like, Roger's parents. It was like, Roger Moore was born in 1930, Picture of Roger's parents. Roger grew up during the war. Picture of Roger running down the street, just as a school kid, with a Spitfire coming behind him like it was going to try and shoot him.
Mr. Schmidt, surely.
Exactly, Mr. Smith, yeah. Roger took up acting. Picture of Roger, like, acting.
Yeah.
Roger became James Bond. Roger's now a popular, star in his own right, and does a lot of work for charity. Brilliant. It summed up the whole thing in kind of
I think they used to have that in one of the TV Times or the Sun. I remember sort of when it was Tina Turner, born Sarah May Bullock, then it was Nut Bush City Limits, stop hitting me, Ike. And then you're simply the best, and that was it. It was great.
That's very much what how your summary of great events is.
But I'd say if you didn't know about Churchill, you've learnt a bit today. So
I suppose so. Can people call in to all these fellas taking cocaine? I think I'm right. It's 08 700 800 1234.
Yeah.
Give us a call, XFM 104.9.
Did Winston Churchill and various other dignitaries take coke during the war?
During the war, saying up for the war effort, the emergency summits and meetings. I think it was. I think it's been documented. I could be wrong, and let me tell you now, it's not happening today. Wow.
Pete, you're on there.
He's there, isn't he, to save me for Nancy. XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. I'm getting excited now because we've had loads of calls and emails, not only backing me up but going a little bit further. Apparently, Johnny Mango called in again. He's become our sort of official researcher on this show. There is evidence that Queen Victoria in Balmoral, with a young house guest, Winston Churchill, used to consume cocaine-filled lozenges. So there you go. Also, MDMA was a precursor of sort of ecstasy, a derivative, and that was big in the day, giving soldiers, you know, a little pick-me-up. So it's not so mad, is it?
It sort of makes sense because he was into his speeches and that, and they say that coke gives you sort of, you know, the balls to stand up and say like.
Not that that's a good thing. And
no, it's not.
No,
definitely not.
no.
Right, but. Apparently it makes you confident, doesn't it? So you can stand up and say, you know, we're going to fight them on the beaches.
Yeah.
And all that, and sound like you mean it.
Exactly, yeah. When he was sort of like, you know, a little bit pissed up with his cigar on, coked off his tits, he wanted to fight. He didn't care where it was. He'd fight on a beach. He didn't care. He didn't care if he got sand in his new trainers.
Exactly, he was boozed up.
Yeah. You want to fight? yeah, that's why he was coming hard.
He was very much. You got to think of him as the Liam Gallagher of his day.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Bad.
Are we allowed to talk about this? I mean, I don't mean in terms of referencing drugs, but are we allowed to, is this like libelous to Winston Churchill?
One, you can't libel the dead.
Yeah, but
two, it's
is that only in America?
I'm asking, and we're not saying, you know. Two, I think you'd probably going to also have a fair comment. Three, we say we were joking. Yeah. 4, it's a satire.
Yeah. 5, we love him.
5, we're not condoning drugs in any way.
6, this is Dermot O'Leary's show.
I didn't have a go at him anyway. I said he was alright. If there's any law against Rasputin, we might be in trouble.
Law against
Rasputin.
You did willfully Raspute.
Yeah.
All over the airwaves.
You did slag off Russia's greatest love machine.
yeah. You didn't shoot him till he was dead, did you? Oh, put some poison into his
I'll tell you
wine.
this, if there's any other historical questions that people want answered, then we're the men, because really, with the three of us, our knowledge of the fact that the Hindenburg was filled with helium, the kind of coke habits and various drug habits of Britain's most famous political leader, we've got the answers to all. For those that are American listeners, Comic Relief here is sort of, it happens every other year, and, you know, people often do things in their workplace or at school. They can dress up, they can raise money in different fun ways, and we were told in a school assembly, it was Comic Relief next Friday, everyone has to come along dressed up in fancy dress to school on that day.
Has to?
Yeah, they said have to dress up. They said you pay 50p towards Comic Relief, and you have to pay £1 if you don't dress up. Right?
That's annoying, isn't it?
So, of course, I'm looking forward to this, because, you know, I'm a sort of aspiring comedian and that. Get to dress up like a clown, right? Spent quite a lot of time getting the old clown outfit together.
What did that look like?
The shoes, obviously, I just wore my regular shoes.
Exactly, yeah.
But I had the red nose, a wig,
wow.
You know, the whole deal, big bow tie that my mum made for me, like, you know. I thought this is going to be the best day ever, right? Get to school, I want you to picture this scene, right? During the assembly in my class of 30. School uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school uniform. Lanky kid dressed as a clown. School uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school. There was 3 people in the entire school who dressed up.
But Steve, you're 50p.
Yes, but then worse than that, it turns out I was furious because I look like an utter dick. Obviously. It turns out that what happened, I don't know whether I'd missed this information, but apparently the headmaster must have had another assembly where he told people that he wasn't allowed to enforce that rule about making people pay against their will. Yeah. So obviously no one showed up dressed like an utter dick, except me and about 2 other knobs.
What disappoints me is that for a man who was a self-confessed aspiring comedian, you chose the least funny thing in the world to dress as. Yeah. The clowns are anti-comedy. They suck comedy out of the room. It's not...
You're right, and this is from a man who wanted to dress as Hitler at the Golden Globes.
No, that's
he knows funny costumes when he thinks... But you were saying about the guys who bother you in the street. Did I tell you that when I pretended to be foreign to try and get out of that? Did I tell you that story?
Amazing.
Because I used to, a technique I used to develop at university was whenever people bothered me in the street, I would pretend to be sort of generic foreign. I can't really do a foreign accent, but I would just be like if someone asked for directions, I was always worried about giving them the wrong directions, so I would just, sorry, I don't really, how you say, you know, it's just kind of vague foreign.
Brilliant.
And I've periodically used this method throughout my life. And not so long ago, a guy stopped me with one of those charity tunics, and I sprang into my old trick. I was like, sorry, I don't.
An elderly Russian woman.
I don't know what voice that is. I don't know what accent
it went from vaguely French to sort of Eastern European beggar.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. And the guy, and I was sort of, I don't. He was, well, just let me explain to him about it. Sorry, I'm not from. And the guy,
this world.
Yeah,
I am from planet Snork.
And the guy said, "Are you Stephen Merchant?"
No. Sorry. Not when you were famous.
Oh yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, because it hadn't occurred to me. It was like a lapse of concentration.
God,
it was a lapse of concentration because
And did your bow tie spin round and you squirted in the water and ran away? That's what I'd have done.
Because it's one of those things where you don't always remember that you've been on the. It's not like I instantly remembered that.
Amazing.
So he says, "Are you Stephen Merchant?" And then you're in this position where you've got to go. Either you've got to admit what you did, or you've got to carry on the lie. And I chose the second one. So I was kind of like, I don't know who that is. What? I don't know what you're. And he was like,
oh God,
really? You look a lot like him. I was going, I've never heard. I don't.
In fact, you are Stephen Merchant. Freeze.
Right, tell the other story that you totally believe this as a true story, don't you? The fella with the being killed.
Right, do you know how the other week we were talking about some fella who had his head cut off? And he said, when my head goes into the basket, I'm going to blink a lot, see how many times I can blink.
But if you remember, when Carl first told me that, it was, I think it was Simon or Nick that pointed out. He goes, no, that's not quite right, Carl. Carl told me that he had his head cut off, and when his head was in the basket, it looked up and said, count how many times I blinked. Yeah, but he believed that as well. So he was happy. He was happy with that.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
So yeah, a couple of weeks ago there was a guy. He had his head cut off, and before he had it off, he'd said, "I'm going to blink to show that there's life after death."
And he did 32 blinks, right? Sure. So you two were sort of pointing that down the other week.
We were skeptical of that.
So I looked again
on the internet,
at some other website.
Yeah.
And there's a guy.
Sorry, it's the website. Just to clarify, the website is the place where you bought that property on the moon, didn't you? Because it was a bargain.
Right. So this guy.
Finger zumped.
Look, we'll see who's been gazumped when this world ends. I've got somewhere to go, right? And I know you'll be calling me up, saying, "Oh, can I come with you?"
Haven't you got like 2 square foot?
No, I've got 8.
You're gonna have to stand deadly still on the moon in your 2 square foot.
I've got about 20 acres.
There's no place for Suzanne. It'll just be you. 12 off, love.
It's all those people with big heads and web feet that've been buying it all these years.
Well, listen, right.
Go on.
Anyway,
play a record. Tell us a story after it. We've been chatting for
sorry, Carl. No, there's no record.
Play a tune. We'll come back with these. What's this? Another ghost story?
Let's play one of my favourite songs of all time, because I'm going on holiday and getting into a lovely serene mood. Sorrento is probably from that. It's Neil Young, After the Gold Rush. Beautiful.
Still to come, that competition as well. Look forward to that. Carl's quiz.
Yeah. Well, I dreamed I saw the... What an amazing track that is.
Tune, yeah.
Neil Young,
Dynamite.
After the Gold Rush. So go on, Carl. Sorry. Go on, Carl.
So let's take us back a few steps, Carl. What's the story?
Right, so I did some research. Right.
Let's just recap again. There was a guy you read about who had his head chopped off. He was guillotined. Yeah. He had said to the people around him, "I am going to blink once I've had my head cut off to
so
show
the brain
that life
can still,
or the brain can continue to work after death." Okay, so yeah, we queried that.
So you weren't having any of it?
Well, no, possibly for a few seconds till the oxygen stops being fed to the cells because the blood has drained away. But you know, nothing spectacular. So go on.
Well, along the similar sort of lines, right? This is quite a few years ago. This fella sort of upset the royal family doing something, right? So they said that this isn't good.
It wasn't Ben Outman at that Jubilee thing, was it?
I can't remember what it was, and they said, right,
that was terrible.
We're gonna cut your head off. You know, you gotta show people that you can't be doing what you've been doing.
What was this, the 1970s? What you said a couple of years ago, you mean maybe sort of...
Was it the olden days when the phones weren't very good?
Ages ago.
Yeah.
Ages
ago, sure.
So yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So...
Very philosophical.
Yeah, imagine that when you watching this. This was literally ages ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Simon Sharma's History of Britain.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so, and even before that, which is yonks before, when it was all mental and different. Sorry, Carl, go on.
So he's having his head cut off, and he's resigned to it.
It's a day before. He's kind of got it into his head now that I'm not going to have my head much longer.
Sure.
So he said, let's make use of this.
Yeah.
He said, I wonder how long, like, the body can stay alive without my head on it, right? So they were like, I don't know. So,
Who were?
so,
The jailers?
whoever he was asking.
These jailers with one eye.
Yeah.
Get that tongue.
So he said,
No, wait a minute, I've got an interesting scientific experiment, jailer. Well,
Yeah.
fair enough.
What is it?
So, he said, what I want to do, right, he said, surely it's my last right, I'm gonna be dead tomorrow. Sure. So, let's
He
do a
didn't
test.
draw it out this long, did he?
Yeah, he said, let's test this out, he said, do us a favour. He said, it's my last day, what I want you to do is, you're gonna cut my head off, let's put a white line on the floor.
Right.
And see if, because there's no point asking how far he can sort of walk without an head if there isn't a line, because you don't know what to count. Do you know what I mean? If he loses his head and he's running around all over the place, you can't really count
That's
that.
not impressive enough, yeah.
So they said, let's make a white line.
Sure.
Yeah. Who said
And-
this? He did or they did?
I think they started to join in with him and saying, well, let's make this a...
Sure. You guess it. Go on.
So,
They got Norris McWhirr there. The Guinness people.
Oh. Yeah.
so they said, let's get this white line.
Yeah.
And,
Dedication's all you need.
we'll do this tomorrow. He said, alright then, I'll see you in the morning. So we got,
I'll see you in the morning. Night night, sleep tight. Bye bye.
I love the fact that Carl knows exactly what was said. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, he doesn't know the story
Yeah.
or what order it is in
Yeah,
or when
but
it
he knows
was.
exactly what
or
was
who
said.
said what, but he knows the intricacies. Alright then, see you in the morning. Bye. Oh, kissy, kissy, kissy. Oh, I'm not like that. Oh, you joker.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Yeah, anyway.
so he gets up.
Do you want a paper tomorrow? No, I'm alright. Go on.
He gets up and they say, right, today's the day and that. And he said, well, I've got used to the idea. So here's a white line for you.
Got used to the idea.
Go on.
So they go, right, you ready then? And he said, I go on. And they cut his head off. And the body walked 32 steps without a head.
Wow.
32 steps.
Incredible.
And that's the lesson, really.
Did it get as far as it walked along the white line, did it?
Yeah, he stayed along the white line, did 32 steps, and then started to stumble a bit, and it just fell over.
yeah.
But, it was a test that your body can still keep alive for a little bit
Yeah.
when you've lost your head.
Absolute twaddle. Absolute twaddle.
What do you reckon you can do then without an head? How many steps?
There'd be muscular spasm, right?
Yeah. It would twitch a bit.
It would, yeah. You could not distinctly take 32 steps. The body could... Well, don't...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the doctor still on the line?
Yeah.
The fellow that bought 6 parrots.
Yeah.
And, you could have got 32 steps.
Right, so
A
you don't
beheaded
believe
man
that.
doing a bit of line dancing.
Right, you don't believe that, but something that you do believe is that a cockroach can live a week without an head.
It can. Slightly different kettle of fish there.
Why?
Wow, insect to human is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
That
well,
difference.
There's not that much difference in
Well, of
some
course there
insects. Do you know that a snake has a heart and lungs and kidneys and stuff?
Go on.
No, well, I'm just saying.
So?
You're making out as if like they're a totally different being.
Species. I am making that. I mean, call me old-fashioned.
Do you know what you're talking about, mate? I don't want you embarrassing yourself, Nick.
Yeah, I am suggesting they're totally different beings. Yeah, that is. Yeah. Now, Carl, the cockroach is a very different thing. The interesting there is that it lives without its head, because a lot of it's on. There's some of them are phototropic, chemotropic. Some of them just literally have irritation and muscle memory. I mean, they do have a central nervous system, but it's very different. So if you lose the head, it bypasses a lot of that anyway. All this is running around. The reason it dies is because it can't take on water. But it's very different to a man, right, having consciousness and then losing that, and the body's still going, no, I think I remember what I was going to do here.
Yeah, so
I'm going
call
to
that
carefully
walking along the
walk
white line.
32 steps along this white line. And makes me just go looking down going, oh, missed a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe the head was in the corner going, left!
Yeah.
Left! Left! Oh, he's now...
Well, let's just put it out. I mean, if anyone listening has maybe had a relative beheaded, maybe in a horrendous car accident, where they got up, maybe they went for a walk, they had a little chat before
Oh,
they passed
dear,
on.
Carl.
Get in touch.
Oh, Carl, you are my favourite being. You are my favourite species.
Now, you, Carl, may not be particularly different genetically from a cockroach.
You are,
Why can
generally
cockroaches
speaking.
do that? Why whoever made them went?
Let's play a record with
Do you know when I told him this fact, I send him little facts on text messages just to inflame his, interest. I just sent him a cockroach can live 9 days without its head. He texted back, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
What's the point of
They're
that?
not doing experiments, these cockroaches.
It's a boring last week to have.
And he went, and on top of all that, you're thirsty. So it's the worst week of your life, isn't it? That week without your head.
Play a record.
Play a record, Carl.
Competition time next.
Oh, look at his little face. Look at his little
You've not heard Carl's competition.
Oh, we could do without an head. This better be a good monkey news, Carl, that's all I can say, because that was drivel. Amy Winehouse.
Play the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right. There's this monkey, right?
Yeah.
And it had been, do you know you hear about monkeys being badly treated and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So, anyway, it goes into this home. It's 14, this monkey, it's called, Matty, right? Goes into this home where it's looked after.
What do you mean home?
Just like, just a little monkey home, right?
Okay, so zoo.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, but they haven't got any other monkeys there, right?
What have they got there?
They've got just other animals and that, but not that many monkeys. But anyway, because he's there on his own, again, you know...
When you say monkey, do you mean a chimpanzee, by the way? Because you usually do.
Yeah.
I can't believe that journalist thought this was scripted.
Amazing.
So anyway, yeah, so he gets sort of pally with the people working there and that, and it's smoking fags, it's having a drink at night and all this, right?
What do you mean it's having a drink at night? How?
It's all here, Steve. I mean, we haven't really got time, but...
Well, don't say it's all here like it's proof. You've got another stupid story that someone has put onto the internet. Someone sitting at home in their bedroom has put onto the internet.
So he's having a fag, he's drinking a lovely glass of Bang Rock Station.
Yeah, the wine that's perfect for a barbecue.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's loving life, it's forgetting about his past and everything, right? When this other monkey comes along,
Oh no.
Come on, Brewin.
Go on.
right? That comes in, something's said. Right, forget it then. Forget it.
Smiths. Cemetery Gates. It's a lovely tune, lovely song. There's one bit that worries me about it. It's sort of like a teacher warning. It goes, you must contrive prose and poems, and the words you use should be your own. Don't plagiarise or take on loan. It's sort of like, what are you telling us now?
Yeah.
Sort of like a lot of people there going, thanks, Morris. Yeah, that's not mine. That's Wordsworth. Right, I'm going to write my own.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Queen is Dead, though, one of the great album
it's
titles.
not my favourite album. It was voted best album.
But the Smiths, what I love about the Smiths, they just seem to get, like, the Smiths is just a brilliant name.
Yeah.
Don't you think it just captures everything about them? You know,
we've got a thing about bad.
Yeah. Well, I was watching VH1 Classic Smooth last night, and I love it. Absolutely. Sade always on. You can always go, love a bit of Sade. But Foreigner were on.
Oh, yeah. I've been waiting.
Yeah. And, well, I don't know I can't remember which tune it was, but, the album I noticed it came from, classy album title, Agent Provocateur. It makes my skin crawl.
But I also,
from the album Agent Provocateur.
I imagine there's a band called Agent Provocateur, and they're from Wigan. It's a girl singer, she's 35 in a tight dress, and it's four blokes with ponytails.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Doing covers.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Here's what you may remember.
They play a wedding, they go, we're not doing a wedding again. There was people, there was cake being trodden in, there was kids.
Children were just sliding across the parquet floor, they weren't listening to the music.
Well, we've got a gig at the Marquee coming up soon. It's endless guest list, £5 in.
Agent Provocateur. If your band's Agent Provocateur or Agent Provocateur.
Have you ever been in a band called Agent? Yeah.
But that's got to be one of them, because it's not. I don't know what that title says. I don't imagine Foreigner. I've got that sense of intrigue and.
Well, one of the worst names. Right, okay. T'Pau. Right, it's the worst. Let's start worst album titles. Okay, I'll kick off with T'Pau. Bridge of Spies.
Bridge of Spies. Is that the one that featured China in Your Hand?
I assume so. I don't think I did too many.
Bridge of Spies.
Who did this album?
Spies?
Who did this album? Beggar on a Beach of Gold.
Beggar on a Beach of Gold. It's got the likes of Collins written all over it, but I know it's not Collins.
Very close. Mechanics.
Mike and the Mechanics, of course.
I don't know what that means.
Good old Mike.
He's a beggar on the beach of gold. Just look around, there's some money. He's saying, don't be a tramp, there's some money there, mate. I don't know what it means.
I think it means that everyone else is rich, but he's still poor.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit deep for me, Steve.
Maybe you just need a little asterisk at the corner and then a little explanation at the bottom of the record card. I'm thinking about this, I'm not quite sure what it means. Oh! He's very poor emotionally.
Chumbawamba.
Well, you know, what kind of...
Uneasy listening.
Yes! I bet it was from the Chumbas. Are they still cracking on? Are they? Because they used to live in a squat.
They've done about 400 albums, them and the Levellers.
Yeah.
Who's the best? Chumbawamba or the Levellers?
So, good question, thanks for asking that.
Yeah. What's the telephone number, Claire?
It's 08700 800 1234.
Or you can email ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Worst album titles ever.
It's like real radio,
It's just like Chris Moyles.
It is, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh.
We've got the big fat guys on the telly.
Yeah.
You know, and his kind of cheeky sidekick.
And my Comedy Dave.
You're almost as funny as Moyles. Finger crossed one day.
Right, Sturgis, you brought in a record, haven't you? What are you going to play?
Well,
What's
no,
this all about?
do you know what, like, a bootleg is, Ricky?
Oh, what
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh, that's a
yeah.
lot of them up on white label.
Yeah,
go on.
okay. Well, no, this is quite a good one that Ian Baker brought in the other day. It's a bit of Dre, a bit of Snoop Dogg,
Oh, yeah.
mixed in with Crowded House. I thought you'd love it.
Hold on.
Intrigued.
The juxtaposition there is exciting in itself.
That's true enough, play it.
DVD. The weather episode. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Crowd House. I love that.
Enjoyable.
That works for me, Steve.
Yeah,
what do you
it's good
think?
stuff. No, it was nice. I
She
liked it.
started off alright. Should we give her one more go?
I think a round of applause for Claire.
Yeah, that's brilliant. No, that's excellent, that. I love that.
Rick, the phone, oh, it's just gone. No, I tell you, the phone board had lit up there,
Really?
Gervais. There was a call buzzing through on call.
A call came through.
A call came through on line 1,
Yeah.
and Sturgis missed it. Carl would never have missed that. He
Oh.
knows how valuable they are.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was probably someone with an amusing album title.
I know, I did get one, Steve. I did get one. Do you
Someone
want to
came
hear
in?
it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, this is from Al, who says that, what about this? H to H-E, who am the only one.
Sorry, H
To H-E,
H-E.
who am the only one.
I don't know what it means.
No. Van de Graaff generator.
Oh, well, no wonder. That's the thing that one of those things at a museum that you wind up and you touch and it makes your hair stand on end.
Yeah.
That's the scientific thing, isn't it?
Sure.
I've given up, Steve.
Yeah, no,
Do you know,
I
that
know,
didn't really make me laugh either.
I'll be
so-
honest, I'm thinking that the whole kind of amusing album titles thing we should abandon.
I thought that as I
thought
said it.
To be honest with you, I thought it was easier than this. I mean, Chris Moyles makes it work, that kind of crazy comedy,
Okay, let's try and
radio
have a-
magic, but obviously and I don't think our listeners are into that stuff. I just don't think they can be bothered to get to the phone. I don't think a lot of them are able. I think a lot of them are, you know,
Do you remember when we spent about 3 hours trying to get to the Chris Moyle show?
Vaguely, yeah. What was the
He was
reason?
doing this competition, and it was song titles with golf, about golf, like, so you go like Drive, the Cars, and that, and I was getting so excited, I wanted to phone up and go, Duran, golfy, golf. And I just thought, it might have lasted, oh god,
Yeah,
it probably cost me about
ages.
30 quid, just to ruin Chris Miles' competition.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, those were the
Before I
days.
realised-
When we realised, you know, he was a great talent and one to watch.
Yeah.
Before we'd enjoyed his new TV show.
But, anyway.
Yeah.
Let's not.
No, that's
Slag
cheap.
it through
It's
long.
cheap. It's cheap.
Yeah.
Anyway, what should we talk about now then? Because that all went well. No, I mean that's 20 minutes. That's 20 minutes done, and we've nailed amusing album titles. We've done that. That's fine. So we need a new gimmick now.
I'll tell you what. Wait. You know when you go out, you take an umbrella out.
leave the
right?
house, you got an
Right, you go
umbrella.
to bed, right?
Yeah.
And it's a really sunny day.
Yeah.
And then you come out and you go,
Oh, we
God.
can't bother with that because it's
Yeah.
in the way.
But then, right, imagine when you go out, right?
It's raining. It's raining.
No.
No.
You go out without an umbrella.
Okay.
And then it rains.
Oh,
What's going on there?
Oh,
Isn't that
no.
weird, isn't it?
We've all been there,
So
we've all
phone
been
if
there.
you've got like funny, weird observations of things that happen, like that.
Yeah, stuff like that about umbrellas or any kind of sort of accessory or hat.
What's the number again, Claire? This is going to be brilliant.
It's going to be great.
Take this one. Take this one.
08700 800 1234.
Just comedy observations.
Yeah,
and
stuff
things
you
that we-
thought of. Wacky stuff you thought of. Just tell us what stuff you come up with. Get the Sony people on the phone. This is dynamite.
Well, do you want to do some, give some stuff away?
I suppose so, Carl. We could, yeah.
Yeah, set it up, set
What
it
do you
rolling.
think? What is it? Which of your many competitions is this?
Songs of Phrase.
Talking of competitions, I remember last week there was a big argument that Karl kicked Steve off the team because he was getting a little bit uppity and trying to take it over.
Pub quiz, isn't it?
Pub quiz, yeah, but then you let him back in, didn't you?
Well, he was alright. He came to me afterwards and said, you know, you're not going to kick me off, are you? And I said, well, yeah.
He came back sort of, I suppose, begging. Was it embarrassing or...?
Well, no, it's just, you know...
He learned his lesson?
He realises he'll overstep the mark, like you have this week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We've all learnt a lesson.
Yeah, we all learned a lesson. But I won the quiz, didn't I, and you didn't?
Well, that doesn't matter.
No,
The thing is, we
but I
did
won all
well.
the money, didn't I?
Please bear in mind it's taking part that counts, Rick.
Yeah, sure. I wasn't winding you up in the quiz, though, was I?
And all your team was older.
Yeah.
Well, what's that got to do with it? I'd
Well,
learned
You've
more.
got a collective age, your team, of about 300.
No, one of them was only one of them was actually 5, but she's just aged a lot.
I think when I took the 11 plus, we were all around the same age. That's
Yeah.
what I mean,
Yeah.
right? Your team was a lot older. What was our average age, would you say?
Average age probably 30.
Right.
Yours at least 41.
No,
Definitely.
no.
Definitely.
Only 2 of us were 40, and 3 were about 30.
No, rubbish.
Yeah,
Who's 30?
Martin, Glenn's about 36. Yeah, about 30.
It
But
all helps, doesn't it?
And
yeah,
and,
Alps.
and you've all got...
Annal's under 30. Annal's under 30.
And you've got a better general knowledge.
yeah. We were cheating.
Yeah.
We knew more.
You just knew more stuff.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
not allowed, is it?
Proper quiz time.
But I
anyway.
wasn't winding you up though when I won. I wasn't gloating or anything, was I?
No, not at all. When you kept sort of counting it in front of me and sticking
Like he hasn't got enough cash already, Carl.
How much was it? How much was the prize?
I can't say. It'd be gauche. Right.
Is that tax-free, that money?
Yeah, it's a prize, isn't it?
Is that true, though? Is that how it works?
I think so. Prize money, isn't it? I don't know.
Well,
Right,
otherwise I assume you'll be declaring that.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be paying
Right.
tax on that.
Yeah.
Because you know where the taxman could contact you via XFM at any time
Yeah,
just to check
sure,
that if you wanted to.
sure.
Sure. Okay, prizes to give away this week. You've excelled yourself again. We've got, once again, Scotland Rocks, the very best of Scottish music, Texas Deacon Blue,
Brilliant.
and Jerry Rafferty.
Proclaim's on there or not?
Proclaim is there, don't worry,
What they
Delicate
got?
she's on there as well, don't worry.
Yeah, sweet,
Don't worry.
It's Biss
Oh.
on there. It's Biss on there.
I'm just checking to see if Midge and Hugh and Gry
Let's have a
feature,
look,
but
let's
they
have a
do,
look.
thankfully.
I don't know.
The Rosillos as well.
Oh,
and Gun.
brilliant. That
That's
is
great.
brilliant.
So I look forward to
is
that.
Lulu on there or not?
Oh,
Is she not on there?
I can't
Is
see
she
her,
not on there?
actually.
She's not on there.
But,
the
don't
Wets. Are the Wets on there? All the Wets or not?
Fairground attraction. Perfect.
Brilliant.
That's on there, so...
Is Wee Hootie McTooth on there and is Jamboree?
What's this? This is another arbitrary compilation called Strange and Beautiful. The
Brilliant.
X-List album, which is quite good. The new album by the White Stripes. The DVD Walking with Cavemen, that TV show that's on VHS. It's still got the price on there. On VHS, in case you haven't seen it. Fight Club, and the best-selling book from Michael Moore's Stupid White Men. So actually some quite good prizes there, Carl. Not bad
All
at
right,
all.
Carl. What's this competition?
Right, song's a phrase. It's where I get a line that sort of is said a lot on the show, or has been said quite a lot on the show.
Yeah. Is this one Stop Squeezing Me Head?
No? Oh, I could have done that. Yeah. But what we're doing is my favourite. The Elephant Man's my favourite film.
Is that the phrase?
Yeah, that's the phrase that we're looking at today.
The Elephant Man's my favourite film.
It is as well. It's his favourite film.
I know.
Why is that again? Because it's funny and sad, and it's you know exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah, they promise you an Elephant Man, that's exactly what you get.
Yeah.
It's good. Have you seen it, Steve?
I have seen it.
It is
yeah.
good, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you remember at the beginning of the Elephant
Think
Man?
of that. Having that as your favourite film of all the hundreds of amazing films. I mean, I mean,
it's a good film and it's a moving film.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine it's a film I would watch endlessly again
I
and
don't
again.
care about a bloke with a elephant's
I
head.
watched a little bit of it again the other night. It's one of them that, you know, just sort of reminds you.
You know what annoys me when he goes, "I'm not an animal." He is.
Well, I mean, he speaks like one.
And what doesn't
And
help,
he's got
he looks
funny,
like one.
You know, yeah.
but it was a bit unfair because they never let him look in a mirror because he's a bit odd looking. It upset him.
Yeah.
So his hair was always a mess. And that made him look worse than he actually was.
Yeah.
But good film, get it out if you haven't seen it. That's the phrase today.
Do you know, I remember my friend introduced me to that film, and if you remember at the beginning there's a big montage because he is working in a zoo, isn't he, or he's being kept in a zoo, and there's a sequence of various elephants, I think, actual elephants kind of rampaging, and it's just quite a sort of moody, atmospheric montage.
Is he king of the elephants? Could
Well,
he rule them?
my friend said to me when we went to watch this, he said, what happens is, he gets trampled on by some elephants, and that's what makes him look like an elephant. And I went, right, and I watched it, I thought, that's not the case, and I tried to explain it to him, and he's, to this day, still convinced that the Elephant Man, it's like when Spider-Man was bitten by a radioactive spider.
Yeah.
It was his mum, wasn't
The
it?
Elephant Man! The power of an elephant!
Was it his mum who got...
He never forgets!
Anyway.
Be careful.
Is man what?
Wasn't it his mum who was pregnant and then they ran over her and...
No, I don't think so.
That's the impression I got from it.
No.
You are joking, aren't you?
No. I thought I honestly anyway, right? So the phrase is my favourite film's The Elephant Man.
Oh, I won't.
There's 5 songs make up that sentence.
Yeah.
Right, this week. Have a listen, see if you can work out the songs. Email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, right? And you win all that stuff Steve just said. So, right, here we go then.
He's my favorite
That was nicely done. Genius.
Right.
Let's hear it again.
Here we go.
He's my favorite
5 songs there. The Elephant Man
not
is
so hard, this
my
one, which is
favourite
good.
film. Well, I thought we'd make it a bit easier.
Make it a bit easier. Yeah.
Just one more.
He's my favorite
Email only ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Brilliant.
A bit of hip hop hooray, a bit of a rap classic. Although you may not have heard it before.
Good to see those boys still rocking. That's AC/DC. Shook me all night long. On XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Have we got the result of the quiz, Karl? Or?
Yeah, I'll just play it one more time. It was Songs of Phrase. Is this the last time we're doing this?
Oh, I thought so.
I thought it worked better this week because it was actually doable.
Yeah.
I think that makes a difference, Carl.
We haven't done Karl's an idiot yet. Karl, you're an idiot, have we?
Oh, well, that's a reason to keep it.
Maybe we can end with that one when you come back.
Right, well, the 5 songs that made up this little thing here was Mystery's Beautiful Blues, Eels, Innocent Man, Billy Joel, You're My Favourite Waste of Time, Owen Paul,
Brilliant.
Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen, Girls on Film, Duran Duran. It sounded like this.
He's my favorite
There you go. The Elephant Man is my favourite film.
Hang on, was Bohemian Rhapsody in there?
Yeah, it is. It is.
this the
Oh, right, yeah.
Right.
Well, we're going to give that to Piley. He just calls himself Piley. Ian Pyle. Good work, Piley.
What's happened to Anders?
Well, I was just going to say, actually, we've not had correspondence from Richard Dickie Anders for some time.
The Dickmeister
Yeah,
General,
I
with
know.
his naughty, insulting ways.
Yeah, Anderson used to email regularly. if you're
Anders,
listening.
get on your computer.
Get in touch, mate.
What
Just
do you
tell us
think of it?
the show.
Oh, hold on, though. To be fair, he was listening when we were pretty shoddy.
Isn't that
If
true?
he's listened to the last 3 weeks, I think we're owed a little apology from you, Dickster.
Exactly. Absolutely. Listen, Piley, we want to send you all those goodies, including Scottish rock, but we don't have your address, so email in your address and we can send it off to you. All right?
Yeah.
More adverts?
Yeah.
XFM.